Hi everyone, I hope you're all doing okay. Um, this is a spontaneous video, but an important one, and hopefully it won't be longer than 10 minutes. I just wanted to touch on a few things to do with stress and also Christmas and the run up to Christmas, and just life in general and how to deal with the stress. So, also, I've noticed that my microphone is not working as well. So if anybody has any microphone recommendations, or if you are a microphone company, please reach out to me. I need to try a different kind of microphone, and I'm looking into them, but they need to fit with my phone rather than a camera, because I film with my phone. So in my last video, basically the story behind that was I had to be on steroids for my nose, because as you had seen, it had got really ridiculously bad. So I was on steroids for a week, and they were quite high. And I was going to film how I was with steroids. I mean, I did, and I talked about steroids and all sorts of things, but the video, I just found like it might have been boring. So I just took away all the steroid stuff. And then I just filmed bits and pieces as I was going out and doing stuff. So it's a bit of a mishmash of stuff. And I remember when I was decorating my little tree, I chatted a little bit about, try not to do much at Christmas. Christmas Day is what I was talking about specifically, saying that try to delegate and try not to stress too much. And I know that it's really difficult not to. Then for myself, as the days went by, there was more and more stress put on me, and it wasn't my specific, it was two family members who were not well. And at one point, I remember I came to take my mom to the doctors and, helping her down the stairs. And then my daughter upstairs opened the door and said, "Mom, I'm not feeling well. Can you come back?" and all that. And I was kind of in the middle of them, the two of them. And I felt very helpless. I was like, well, she needs me to walk, and she needs me, because my daughter's on some medication. Actually, what is it called? Is it LDN? Some people take it for Sjogren's. If anybody takes it, could you please put in the comments how it was for you? Was it bad for the first couple of weeks? Whatever, however, please leave in the comments, because I really would love to know. Because my daughter had to lower her dosage. She's taking it for long COVID. Anyway, and that moment obviously really triggered my sympathetic, and I really got stressed. And then I took my mom, I was on the phone to my daughter, I brought my mom back, spent time with them both, and then they were in a state, like different things were going on. And I left there coming back feeling like I was having a mini nervous breakdown, because I couldn't be there fully for them because I am not well enough. And the problem with me right now is that I am so much better. I am so much better than I used to be. So it's almost appears that I am the way I used to be before I got sick. But I'm not at all. So even though I am so much better, I have to be careful. And the one enemy for me, I mean, there's a whole bunch of stuff. I need to get good sleep. I need to eat the right nutrients, vitamins, minerals. I need to have the right balance of this and that and the other. But the one thing that I've noticed a lot of people with Sjogren's have, and I definitely have, is we cannot cope with stress like we used to. And also, for a lot of us, stress and overdoing it which I touched on with my last video with Paloma. I'll put links to these videos below. All that is what doesn't help triggers, doesn't help the autoimmune disease. I came back honestly feeling like I was having a mini nervous breakdown, and what I basically felt was my system was going out of sorts. And I did think, okay, you know what? I need to go away for the weekend. I need to have a break. I had just enough money. It would have been tight for the rest of the month, but I needed to go away somewhere quiet and rest. Also, even before that, because it was a build-up, I remember going into Sainsbury's. I had to go and get something for my brother. I mean, it's his birthday, and I had to get a drink from there. And as soon as I entered, I was really bothered by the music and the lights. It was just so overstimulating for me, and I nearly left. I thought, you know what, it's better for me to leave. But I didn't, and I got on with it, and it was fine. But that was very surprising to me, and it was a sign that I'm not doing too well. And it was just like an accumulation of too many things. I tried to plan going away. It was difficult to get it done, so I couldn't. But that night, I slept at 7 o'clock in the evening, because also Belle, the dog, hadn't been well. And I think that also really affected me, because one day I thought she was dying, and I actually just stayed in by her side on the floor. I thought that was it. And obviously that affected me. So there were all these different things. And it wasn't that I was feeling all these bad Sjogren symptoms. It was that stress was coming at me from different directions, and I was trying to meditate. But yeah, that day at my mom's, I could not cope. I slept at 7 o'clock in the evening, and I felt so much better when I woke up the next day. I realized that I hadn't had good sleep as well for a couple of nights. Okay. Then my mom asked me if I could take her to the doctor again the next day. And I actually said no. But it turned out it was something serious, so I had to go. And it wasn't too bad, because I kind of calmed myself. I got enough rest, and I did a lot of meditation, and I had a YouTube event to go to that evening. Basically, a YouTuber that I like, who lives in America, was coming to London, and she was paying for reformer Pilates for everyone. And well, it was only about 6 people. Whoever commented, no, I think emailed her first, and I was one of the first. And then afterward, it was at a posh hotel, and afterwards we were going to have snacks and meet her, and properly and chat. And I really wanted to do this because she is a YouTuber that I really like. And I wanted to know what reformer Pilates is like, if that would be good for me. Because now that I'm better, I want to do some form of exercise, and I've always been curious about reformer Pilates. Anyway, and I wanted to rest before that morning, even before I took my mom to the doctors. I said to myself, this is what I want to point out. I said to myself, I'm doing everything for everyone else this week. I'm getting really stressed by everything and everyone. And this was the one thing that I was going to do for me. So I'm going to go and do it no matter what. And then I thought, no. I'm starting to feel a bit unwell in my body. And the last thing my body needs is for me to go and do a reformer class. I told the teacher from before, I'm only going to do 2 reps of everything. I'm going to rest when I need to. So it wasn't going to be that much. But I felt with the build-up of the whole week, it wasn't going to do me any favors. And in fact, I should pull back from any kind of exercise and just rest instead. But I was kind of thinking about it, wasn't sure. I was 90% not going. I bought this top for the class and Pilates socks. So I was thinking about it, and then in the morning, my friend called me from downstairs, and sadly, Belle was dying. And at that point, I was like, yeah, well, I'm not going to this YouTube thing. So this was yesterday. I spent time with Belle. I said my goodbye because I knew that she may not come back from the vet. It would have been the kindest thing to do. She was gasping for breath. She was lying on the floor, just not well. She had basically, her problem was that they had found a lump, and she had water all over her lungs and chest and heart issues. Like, there was a lot, and even on steroids, she was that bad. So I knew there was a chance that I wouldn't see her again. So I gave her a big hug, and they took her to the vet, and I went to the doctors with my mom. As my mom was in the room with the nurse, I got a message from my friends that they had said goodbye to Belle. I think it was then that I said, okay, I'm not going to this thing, and I messaged the girl. Obviously, it was very hard for me. I've known Belle since I was a puppy. You guys would have seen her in our videos, and in my videos, and I always say our videos. I'm not going to correct myself anymore. I'm going to say our videos. If I say it, it is our videos. And I had obviously a horrible time yesterday. Cried my eyes out, but I'd been crying for her for a couple of weeks because she wasn't doing well, and I kept thinking, it's now, that kind of thing. I dreaded coming back here. I was at my mom's. Afterwards, I went to my mom's, and I dreaded coming back here, but I did. Had to at some point. And then I thought, right, no, I have to go for a walk. And I really, really felt like a drink. And I don't drink. I really try not to drink. But this was something that I really needed a drink. And I went out and I thought, I'm not going to buy a bottle of something because, 1 second. Yeah, so I went out. A friend of mine is always, goes to the local pub regularly. And I messaged him and I said, are you at this pub? And I'll come and have a drink with you guys. And he wasn't that night, last night. So anyway, I went to get a mini bottle, and I went into this off license, and sorry, talking about Belle. I went to this off license, and if I drink something, it'll be tequila, which actually I say that. I mean, that used to be my drink. I haven't drank it for years now. But I wanted a shot of something. And they didn't have the tequila that I like, and I wasn't going to risk taking other ones that can be horrible and not good. Anyway, there was a guy there who was testing, asked me if I would like to try a whiskey. So he gave me a little shot of a delicious whiskey. I did a little video. I was going to put it up here, but I don't want to promote alcohol because it's not good for us, so I won't put it up. But what was interesting about this, it said rye whiskey, and I said, oh no, I can't have it. I can't have gluten. And he said, actually, the gluten is taken out, and a lot of celiacs drink this whiskey. It was absolutely so pure and so delicious and so what's the word? And I could smell, because I could smell a bit now on and off because my nose is better, and the smell was lovely. And I had a couple of sips of that shot, and that did it for me. I wouldn't have bought it. I wouldn't have bought any bottle because the way I was feeling last night, I would have been tempted to drink more, and it wouldn't have done my body any good. But I have to say, just having that shot just numbed me a little bit, and I needed that last night. And I think it did me, this is not medical advice, do not drink alcohol, it's not good for you. But for me, for that moment, I feel like it did me a lot of good, and it actually helped calm me down so that I wouldn't have been stressed all night. So it was a good thing, and it's a good thing I didn't need to buy any. Even a mini bottle would have been too much. That yes, I am drinking lots of water. I'm eating healthily. I was just making myself lunch. Um, it's kind of stormy out, so I'm not going to the supermarket, but I had enough things. I have enough things for this evening as well. But for lunch, I had some turkey, lettuce, hummus. I've got some sesame oil over it, spring onions, um, turkey and lettuce. They have I forgot I never know how to pronounce it. Tryptophan, which is relaxing. So yeah. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm just going to be drinking all the time. There are foods and drinks that are not harmful that actually can help relax us as well. Hi guys. I also wanted to explain, like, right now I was just in the middle of a meditation. You know, I love this app, Balance, and I just looked to see if they had a meditation for grief, and they do. And so I went on it, and then it asks you, I didn't really look at it. There was about 6 options or something of them asking who you're grieving for. I saw it said a person, then a pet, and I don't remember the rest. So anyway, I thought it would calm me down, but as soon as I started it, I just sobbed, and so I have a mixture of feeling lighter, but also sad. And he just said something in the recording about, unless you feel the feelings, then you can't process them to then heal your heart. Because the thing is, also with us, with Sjogrens, like, I don't want to make myself feel worse, but this is life and things happen. And I am grieving. I am really, really sad. And I was just thinking that I came to live with my friends in October, and actually Belle was feeling unwell from October, but on and off. But really, just the last last 3 weeks that she was really bad. And actually, I even looked after her in September and the summer. Yeah, so it was like a week here, a week there. But then from October, I saw her every day. And a part of me was like, damn, I wish I hadn't seen her every day, because then I wouldn't be as upset. But then, I don't know if that would be the case, because I always loved her. But I thought, actually, how about I look at it that I got the chance to spend a lot of quality time with her. But it's hard. Do you guys have any pets? Have you ever had pets that have passed away? Have you then been able to have another pet? Like, I couldn't have a pet. Now I know what it's like. No way. I couldn't go through that heartache again. No way, no way, no way, no way. I mean, I know it's like a good thing to look after a pet, especially if they need a home. So if you look after them, you give them a good life, and then they pass away, and then you get another pet and you look after him or her, and then you look after them, give them a good life. I get it, but I don't think my heart would be able to take that more than once, maybe twice. So hats off to people who can have pets over and over again and deal with the pain of the loss. Anyway, I'm going to put this in my video that I've already recorded, but I thought it was important to say that, I said that I needed a bit of alcohol to numb me, and that felt good. And I feel like I need a balance. I also need to let the feelings out, because Nothing good ever comes from keeping feelings in us. It manifests its way to a part of our bodies somehow, but it's tough. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I was actually halfway through the meditation and I stopped to share that with you. So yeah, I mean, I did have a bit of a start of a panic attack in the middle of the night. Like I say, Belle, I've known her since she was a puppy, and I've looked after her for so many years, and I loved her so much, and she really, I definitely was one of her favorite people as well. And yeah, anyway, the point of making this video was just wanted to give a little bit of advice that sometimes stress comes at us from different directions that are not necessarily like coming from, like, we may not be stressed, but outer things can stress us. And sometimes it's not so easy to deal with things. Like I say, if I could have gone away that weekend, I would have. And I am going to look into possibly going away just for a weekend to a hotel in the UK. No, nothing extravagant, but just somewhere where I can reset and just have some quiet. I'm okay now, but yeah, that's what I really felt that I needed. And I feel like if you ever get the chance that you feel like you need that, do it. And also, it got to a point where, like I say, people, because I'm better, think that I can cope better. And we really need to manage our stress with Sjogren's. Sjogren's does a lot of things. And if we stress ourselves, our Sjogren's symptoms, our autoimmune is going to just work overtime, and that's the last thing we need, because we don't want to get ourselves into a worse situation than we are. Sjogren's can be serious, and I don't like thinking about those things because I don't think it helps, as long as I know that I'm doing the best to help my body. I think that those things don't necessarily, don't have to happen. But if we don't look after our body, which includes our mind and our emotions, what we eat, our environment, everything, then, and we do that for a long time, and we really don't look after ourselves, autoimmune, I mean, I can tell when my hair falls, my autoimmune is working. Well, I can't think of the word right now. And the dryness, I don't want to, we know, if you guys want to hear all that stuff about different things that can happen, like the drying of organs, the effects of the spine, the brain, all these things, if you want to hear about them, I can do a video and talk about those things. But I don't like to talk about them because it just is like fear mongering, because if we do the right things, those things shouldn't happen, as long as we do the right things, or we may need medication to suppress the immune system or whatever. But you know what, or other things. I'm not going to go into it all now. The point is, we have to look after ourselves. So I just want to say that it isn't as easy as I was saying by the tree, delegate, make sure you have time to yourself. Yeah, definitely make sure you have time to yourself. Autoimmune disease is a serious thing. Boundaries, and I would love to give and be there, but it doesn't help me. So I think we just all have to think about ways that we can, even if we are in a situation where we're maybe carers or looking after young children or ill people or whatever it is, that we take the time out. It's very important. So whether that is you go and get a massage, whether that is that you tell your husband or partner to take the children out for the day, especially in the Christmas holidays, if you have children, definitely, if the grandparents or friend, whoever, can take the children out for a bit, or if you could lie in more, or If you could go away for a couple of days or one night or whatever it is that helps you relax and not feel stressed, whatever that is. After this video, I am actually going to do a bit of a meditation. I did a few last night. Meditation really helps me. I do want to say that a couple of years ago, when I started doing meditation, it really helped me with my fatigue. I noticed that when I was meditating, my fatigue was getting better. That I actually didn't have fatigue when I was meditating. That was me personally, because obviously stress is a big deal for me. But then my daughter was away. She was in South Korea and she caught the C word that YouTube doesn't like people mentioning. We all know what it is. There was a pandemic about with it. And she caught that over there. And you can imagine, as a mother at the other side of the world, not being able to do anything about it. She became very ill. She had to be taken to an ambulance and hospitalized and all that. And then after all that, then there was a typhoon that hit exactly where she was. So I was beside myself, and I was on the phone to her like in the night, and meditation went out the window because I just couldn't. I was too stressed. I actually did a video on Patreon about it that whole time. So I know that sometimes in the middle of it, maybe we can't, but then we need to go back to doing those things. And if we do those things regularly, all the things that put us in the parasympathetic, then hopefully that will keep us in good stead. And if we do have a stressful moment, maybe things did go like this for me, but then they calmed down the next day. So on the whatever day it was, I think it was Wednesday, I was like, I'm really having a mini nervous breakdown here. Nervous breakdown is in my body, and I need to get away. But then I slept early all night, woke up feeling a bit better. Then I did have to deal with a lot of things, but I was okay. I was better. I hope this video is helpful. I know I'm giving my examples, but I mean, I'm being very honest here. Talking about personal experiences, which is quite a vulnerable thing to do, but I hope that it helps you in some way. Maybe you can think of how you would have dealt with those situations better. And also, to be fair, my poor mom, she has a lot of hospital appointments and she gets herself transport, which takes hours to come. She has to be at the hospital hours earlier, hours to get back, all because she knows I can't take her every time. So, she does her best, but sometimes these things happen where I do have to help. Same with my daughter. She has suffered with anxiety and health issues. She has terrible long COVID. Her fatigue is the same as how mine was when I was really bad. And the poor girl, she hardly ever complains. She doesn't, she just keeps dealing with it and trying to see what will help her. And in this case, it was the medication that she's trying. So I don't want you to think that, first of all, like, that they really are putting anything on me. It's just that I obviously can't deal with very much. And I also hope you don't think I'm a bad person for feeling bad and not being able to cope. I obviously love my mother and my daughter very much. I love them more than anybody else in the world. Well, I love my brother too. And I was going to say, and I love Belle. Well, I do, even if she is in dog heaven. I am wishing you all a relaxing day. I will see you soon, and wishing you a very, very relaxing, comforting, happy, pain-free, fatigue-free, brain fog-free weekend or week, and sending you all my love, and thanks for being here. Love you all. Bye-bye.